So I found out today that they're going to close the jiu-jitsu studio that I go to for 2 weeks, and I wanted to cry. I cried a little bit. I was really upset. I don't think that the owners want to do it. I haven't talked to them. I don't know how they feel about it, but they're making people close down their shit, even if they don't want to. So it's like people aren't even scared. They're making people close down their shit. They don't want to close it down. And it was just like the one thing that gives me joy outside of maybe making music by myself, where I can actually socialize with people. And they were taking that away from me and everybody else too. It's unfucking believable. I had my rash going on and everything. I couldn't go yesterday, but I was just like, I'm gonna go to jiu-jitsu for at least 4 times this week. And now they're just like, oh, they're closing it because of the fake ass virus. So, my heart was broken. I'm just like, I was so upset. So I go through my usual rounds of getting scanned every fucking day, like I've been doing since this fake ass virus outbreak. And I think I told you yesterday, they took my temperature and I let them, and I felt like shit because I was just like, you know what, I gave them consent. Like somebody in the comment section said, you gave them consent, and I actually wrote back and I said, yes, I did, and I feel like shit, and I did. And you know what, on a side note, I answered a bunch of comments yesterday. I was on for about 30 to 40 minutes, either trolling people back or answering comments or leaving information and stuff, and my comments aren't showing up on my own channel. So I'm just letting you know, I a lot of times I have to release the comments later anyway. If I make a video on the road, I can't release the comments from my phone. I have to wait till I get home. But yesterday I can't. I responded to a bunch of people. Anybody that wants to PM me, you can go to truthertalk.com and you can email me from there. We have the email there. Or you can PM me on the Truther Talk page. It has the bunny in the hole. It's the blue circles with the little rabbit, okay? If you want to do that. But yeah, so I'm trying to respond to a lot of your stuff, and I can't. Like, YouTube is like, they go and they fuck with me. I turn my monetization on and they turn it off, and then they limit my videos, and they take subscribers away, and I know I'm getting shadow banned. So it's just, that's what's going down in the world of tyranny right now. So anyway, yeah, so I go up and I'm just like, so I think I said yesterday, they took my temperature, and I was just like, you know what, this shit ain't going down today. So I went and I got a green band, and I guess I went and I asked, I was like, why are they taking people's temperature up at the top floor? And she's like, oh, you need it to go in there. I was like, why did they do it yesterday? And she's like, oh, because you didn't have a green band. So they could have just told me to go back downstairs and get a green band. But then, they didn't mess with me today because I had a green band, even though the guy told me I didn't need one because I was going to be in and out. I'm like, yeah, please get your shit together in this time of the fake virus. Anyway, I was just like, yeah, I just thought it was unnecessary, and I felt really violated. And she's like, you felt violated? I wanted to be like, yeah, bitch, I felt violated, because you know what? First it's going to be your temperature, then it's going to be like, where's your passport? Because you could lie from the subjective screening process that we give you. Then they're going to take your blood. Then it's going to be like your ID card. Then it's going to be like, vaccinations, and you can't go anywhere without getting vaccinated. And I'm just like, it's steps, right? It's steps. It starts with little shit like that. But she was offended that I had the nerve to be violated. And I guess I was offended because she was just such a fucking sheep. She's a nurse, and just like, we're protecting people by taking their temperature. I'm like, all right. She's like, I screen 70 people a day. I'm like, well, I get screened a bunch of times a day. So, I mean, it must suck for her, but at least she's getting paid to screen people. I'm not getting paid to be violated. So, I was just, I'm already, like, and then the last screening process I had to go the other day, it was actually cool, because now I guess they're giving you one for each hospital, so you're not going through it, like a million times every time you go to a hospital, which is good. I'm glad they finally figured that out. Right? Plus saves on green armbands. Plus, it's St. Patrick's Day, y'all, so I mean, I guess this is green, but I also have this, so I'm not getting pitched today. But then, like, who's gonna pinch people when they're afraid of the coronavirus? It's like, you know, how is St. Patrick's Day going down today? You know, because people are scared to touch each other. People are scared to shake hands or fist bump or hug with this fake ass shit going around. And I'm gonna say it's fake every time I get. You know, it's my only way that I can retaliate. You know, I feel, because, you know, I feel like the walls are closing in. I don't feel hopeless. I'm irritated, and I don't know. Like, I was talking, I was listening to. If you guys listen to the Robert Scott Bell show, Robert's actually a good friend of mine. But he's a homeopath and a health freedom activist, and he has amazing, just knowledgeable, like, woke, positive people that give really sound advice on health. And they, you know, he's very strict and straight up, but he's not like, he doesn't panic, you know. Like, I started off watching AJ, but I don't anymore because he's just too much. Like, I noticed I would feed, I don't even think he knows what he's doing. I think he's just consciously knows what he's doing. I think he's just like that. He's just a fear monger because he's fearful himself, and he thinks of the worst possible scenario. But I got tired of having that energy, or feeding off of that energy. I think it's good for a certain time, but after a while it gets old. So I don't watch shows like that anymore. I still watch shows that are quote unquote woke, but I don't, you know, I try and watch things that make me feel empowered. So I watch that a lot, and I watch The High Wire with Del Bigtree. So if you want to watch those things, they have really good, I think they're really, and I watch Yummy Mummy. Sorry, that's my girl. I love Yummy Mummy. I watch the Yummy Mummy, Emporium, and Apothecary. The white Yummy Mummy, not the black Mummy, Yummy Mummy. There's a black one, there's a white one. The white one is the woke one. I don't know, the black one, she seems nice and all, but, like, she ain't woke. So, anyway, so if you look up Yummy Mummy, you need to look up Yummy Mummy, Emporium, and Apothecary. That's her. She's Amanda Vollmer. She has, like, she's a brunette, curly hair, fierce as fuck, smart, like, love her. So I watch those too. I feel very empowered, you know, watching them. I'm also trying to look at the brighter side of things, because, you know, I had a very, in my time of being angry, I think that anger can be a good thing. I don't think it's healthy to be angry all the time and to stay in anger. And I'm concerned because every day this week I've been, not this week, but within the past week, within a week span, I would say, I've been angry like every day. And I've been trying not to be angry, but just somebody pisses me the fuck off. And I feel like my temper is just running short, because I see a lot of people that are, you know, that see through the holes, through the anomalies, through the inconsistencies of the official story of this virus and what it is. And they're very annoyed because they don't see the logic in shutting everything down and creating a panic. You know, and then then the media, like, tries to spin it so we won't blame them. But this is over. We're fucking coming for your ass. The media's gonna be hung by a fucking rope after this shit, because they're the ones that are propagating this shit. Just like they did, you know, the Iraq War, where they were saying that, you know, Saddam Hussein was taking babies out on the street and putting them out of the incubators and stuff like that. Oh, but, you know, I know, years later, no weapons of mass destruction, my bad. But yet 100, or not 100, but over a million people died because of their false lies. That's just one, okay? So, you know, the destruction the media has is just phenomenally evil. And it's not just the media, it's the people that are associated with the media that fuel the media. They use the media as a source to brainwash people. Now, you can look at it on a physical plane and be like, yes, you know, they're controlling people physically, but they're also controlling people's vibration and their energy and through their mind, right? They're controlling people through their mind. And I guess I know this, I see this, and I see people falling for it. Even, you know, like that nurse that I went off on yesterday for calling me a conspiracy theorist. I know really what's going on is that she believes so much in the authority figures and the people that have told her what to think, that it's really uncomfortable for somebody to bring up a suggestion that's even a little bit outside of the box. Because like I said, I'm not making stuff up. This is easily verifiable, but she can't, be bothered to even entertain what I'm saying. She has to call me names. Even though I'm mad at people, I'm not calling them names. I'm not cursing them out. I'm not getting physical with them. But, like I said, I think it's good to be angry. I think there's a purpose, and it's good to be angry. I think there's justifiable anger in this situation. But there's also like, so then the morning goes on, and I get a text from this number, and I don't recognize this number, but I'm like, this person's texting me like they know me, and I'm like, okay, so I call them. I was like, who is this person? Because I got a new phone and all my contacts are transferred. So I'm like, all right, call him back. And he's like, and it was a guy that trained me a while ago on a job. I mean, I didn't see him in like a year. It's been over a year. And we catch up, and we totally catch up. And, he thinks, we're having the same thoughts about the virus and everything. But he was just like, you know what? You can't get mad at people. He was like, you can't get mad at people. You really have to stop that. And I was like, why not? And I'm just kidding. But I listened to what he said. And he was like, people are being tested right now. This is a test. And I have to remember that. This is a test for me to remain calm. This is maybe what I have to work with, right? Maybe I'm not scared or panicked or anything, but it's a test, right? It's a test for me to remain calm. It's a test for, a lot of people that say they have faith in things bigger than them. And, we're going to see how people fare in the situation, right? I'm not scared of the virus, but I'm scared of people that are panicked like them. I went to Sprouts, and there was this lady, and she had like one wipey wipe, that every time she'd start a new like row of groceries, she'd pick up the wipe and go like that, and then start a new and pick up the same wipe and like rubber. I'm just like, but you're rubbing your, like, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, people are doing nonsensical things, like, getting loaves and loaves of bread. I'm like, I hope you got a freezer, and even then that bread's not going to last super long. So, you can freeze bread and it'll last for a while. I don't know how long, but people are just like, I'm like, all the junk food's gone? Okay. Like, my friend was like, obesity is probably going to drop because people are going to, they're not going to eat as much, maybe, if this country goes in complete lockdown. Are we going to be like communist Romania? And somebody said, I wanted to clarify in the comments the other day, I don't know if you got my comment, I responded, but I said, is this communist Romania? So, and maybe with somebody from Romania. I know Romania is not communist. I mean, communist Romania back in the day when Ceausescu was the dictator there, or the president there. So I know it's not like that now. Because I had a really good friend from Romania, and I knew about all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, is it going to be, they're just going to tell us what to do when they say it? They're going to say jump and we say how high? When are people going to get enough, Like, they're going to shut stuff down, and the people that are, not woke, that are uneducated, that are brainwashed by the media, they're the ones that are going to be physically flipping out. Well, the people at least that are woke, they know what to do. They have food and water storage. They know how to, fortify their body so they don't get sick. But other people that, I've been watching, like, reality TV for the last 15 years, they don't know what the fuck to do. And those are the people that I'm scared of, because those are the ones that would kill you for whatever they need to survive. So, I mean, that's the thing you have to watch out for, gotta say. I don't know. So I came across this, this website called NESARA. Or not website, but they were talking about this thing called NESARA. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. It's either NESARA or NESARA. And basically, it was proposal, I want to say. Okay, well, the rumor was that John F. Kennedy was signed this into law, was going to implement this before he was killed. I haven't found any evidence of that, but it's a rumor. Who knows? It could be true. I'm just saying. The internet scrubs stuff all the time. There may be other sources I can find this out. If you guys have any, actually, I want to look more into this. I'm actually intrigued. If you have any info on this, please let me know. I couldn't really find that much concrete evidence aside from all of the people making YouTube videos talking about it. And honestly, let me just tell you what it is before I get a tangent. So basically, it would like abolish income tax and run the country on sales tax, go back to the gold standard, erase debt, and it's just a whole bunch of things. It seems like it's too good to be true. It seems like, I was telling my friend about it, she's like, yeah, it seems like a fairy tale. I'm like, I know, girl, but come on, man, just imagine just a little bit. And she's like, I was like, yeah. I was like, it sounds great. Basically restoring, financial prosperity, basically, to the in a short description, it's restoring financial prosperity back to the country and the globe, and I think it's great. So I found a Wikipedia page, and I was reading about it, and basically their records were saying that it was a guy that was his name was Harvard was it? Oh God, I'm driving, I can't think. Harvard, okay, last name Bernard. I'm just gonna say Bernard, right? Because you guys can look it up. I'm putting in links later. Bernard, right? And this guy was a systems philosopher, and he came up with this economic system that would, would be really would turn the country back into financial prosperity, and it was called NESARA, right? And then they were talking about how, a little bit about his life, and then they go on and they talk about how it's been the subject of conspiracy theories. They're like right-wing conspiracy theorists have latched onto this idea. So I guess what happened, there was a lady, it looks like she was in the New Age movement. She latched onto the idea and has been talking about it. And since then, it's created like a cult-like following. So anytime Wikipedia refers to something as a conspiracy, I think that Wikipedia is a conspiracy. So I tend not to trust Wikipedia. So I did see a bunch of videos, and I mean, I think there's some good things about, I think there's some good things about the New Age movement for sure. I think the law of attraction is very valid, and even if you're a Christian, you can get, I think it's kind of like what people say in the Bible, speak things into existence. And I think, I think there's some validity there, but usually with certain cult movements, they take bits of the truth and then they infuse it with lies and make people dependent on them in order to, control them. So they were saying she's a cult leader. I don't know. I haven't looked into her stuff. Some of the videos I made have not necessarily been the best representative of the types of people that maybe you want to represent something like that, because they seem like kind of scattered and all over the place. Maybe there's more videos. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just, I toy with ideas when I hear things. I try to be open, because some of the stuff I believe and know now, I never thought I would believe and know. So I'm very, cautious when I hear a new idea. I don't try and bash people because it sounds absurd to me. I don't know everything. I get cocky on honor about some of the stuff that I do know, but then I still have to remain open and be like, well, I don't know everything, so who knows, So then there's this talk about how this lockdown is supposed to be a cover for a lot of mass arrests that are going on. It's true that there are mass arrests that are going on. So I was reading stuff saying that these mass arrests are happening, and people that are, celebrities that are coming out and saying that they're quarantined because of the coronavirus are actually being arrested, and they don't want to cause a panic. And I was thinking, all right, there could be some truth to that. I don't know, and I know some of you guys are going to criticize me and be like, I thought you were logical and blah, blah, you're believing in conspiracy theories. But look, you think about how many people are obsessed with celebrities and brainwashed by the media. If Oprah gets arrested, if like Bill Gates gets arrested, if like all these major, Tom Hanks gets arrested for, like, if all these people get arrested and at the same time, like the Madonna, Celine Dion, like all these people, if they're really going to do mass arrests, all these people get arrested at the same time, they're going to there are going to be riots and people flipping out. So maybe it is a good idea to keep people off of the streets. And it's also, you know, if you're shutting down international travel and interstate travel, it makes it harder for these people to escape because they have hidden hideaways, you know, somewhere outside the country, whatever. But if they're being checked and they're being, you know, they're being told that they have the coronavirus, even the common people will be like, well, we have to quarantine you. They can't, if the public knows that they are marked with the scarlet letter, it makes it harder for them to escape because people are getting like, well, you can't fly. Because other people are going to stop them because they're scared of getting the fake ass virus, if that makes sense. So this whole brainwashing thing that people have been brainwashed with being this fear, this boogeyman of the virus can work to that extent too. I read that that the globalists have planned this. I'm sure they planned this at Bilderberg because that's why there's such a collaboration with all the governments and all the corporations cooperating. You know, I read that they planned this, but then, you know, there is a war going on within the deep state, but the deep state knew about this and co-opted it, and then now they're using this as a plan to mass arrest people. I don't flipping know. I don't know. Like I said, I entertain things. I don't close myself off to ideas. But I also, you know, can see that it can be kind of dangerous because maybe it's making people docile about martial law that's being implemented. Because you're not hearing the words martial law doesn't mean that, you know, they're going to lock shit down. They're telling people to close down their businesses. They're telling people where they can go and when they can go. They're fucking stopping people and taking their temperatures. Okay? So I was in the riots. I was like in the riots, in the LA riots. When the LA riots happened, I know some of you guys read about it in a book or you saw like old time clips of it, you know, on TV. But I actually experienced it. I've been under martial law before. I've been under, you know, I was a kid, so I wasn't driving or anything, but you know, people in my neighborhood, we had curfews like we're fucking children. You know, we had the National Guard walking around. There was so many fires though, and other people, they didn't report this, but other people that were not black were actually coming in and looting. But you know, the media, you know, just chose to just show the black people. They didn't show the white people that coming in their SUVs and taking shit. I'm just saying, okay? But that's another video. But anyway, there were so many fires, and I was raised Catholic. I thought it was the end of the world. I was scared shitless because there were so many fires. The sun was red, and I think there's this part in the Bible where like the end of days, the sun is red. The moon turns to black cloth or something like that. And I was like, dang, it looked like that. It looked like that. And there was ash just flying everywhere. And I was having asthma attacks because of all the fires. And I remember I was watching this on TV and I'm just like bawling and freaking out. And my mom's just like, you have to turn the TV off. You have to turn the TV off. Oh, and people walking around our neighborhoods in fucking rifles with the National Guard and stuff, telling us where to go, where not to go. It was flipping crazy. And my mom was like, you have to turn the TV off. And I was like, no, I have to see. She's like, no. She had to unplug the TV. Like, I was flipping out so much. And I'm just like, and looking back on that, I realized that, I mean, what was going on in my neighborhood, yes, it was freaky. But also, I mean, just the I can't think of the word. The way that they sensationalize everything was very, you know, it brought out a lot of emotion and anxiety in me. right? And I think that's what the media also is doing, right? I watched this guy, his name is Alex Bachman, and he's like a woke guy in Mexico. He did really good coverage of the migrant crisis, and I got into him. He has over 1 million viewers, but he's even like, you know, in Spanish promoting a lot of fear and panic, and I'm just like, Alex, I'm disappointed in you, you know? La plaga roja, like the red plague. He's calling it the red plague. And he's like, oh no, like muchos casos de coronavirus, you know, like blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh my god, all right. I can't, you know. So I'm choosing kind of, you know, also like toying with this idea of, yes, this could be martial law, and then they're gonna get us to line up for the chip. This could be civil war. This could be the end of the world. This could be apocalypse. This could be, I don't know. Or it could be a good thing. I don't know either. You don't know, right? So I'm choosing to kind of toe that line and choosing thoughts that empower me more than being scared and fearful all the time, because you can only control how you react to things, right? And I think a lot of people that aren't woke are kind of really being scared because they're being faced with the reality that they don't have as much control over their lives as they thought they did. I think for people that have already been woke, we know that there's a cabal. We know that there's a global government, you know, trying to be implemented. We know a lot of this stuff. For a lot of people now, they're starting to have to ask themselves this question, and it's freaky for them. But, you know, what if it is the beginning of GESARA, NESARA? I'm just throwing that out there. I know people are like, no, I don't believe that white hat theory, that, you know, that Trump stuff. Well, maybe if it is, I'm going to say thank you for all the men and women who have planned this and they're risking their lives to do it, because there are a lot of people, good and bad, that are the behind the scenes, and they are doing things because they care about humanity. They really, really are. Okay. I don't believe all humans are bad. But you also I also been thinking about this too, right? Because we already know the gloom and doom scenario, so that's over there. That's a possibility, and I'm not gonna get docile. I'm gonna be prepared to the best of my ability. You should do that, you know. So I'm not one of these people, and that's one thing that's dangerous about the New Age movement too. They're like, oh, love, let love be love, and love is all there is. And I'm just like, well, yeah, in the cartoons on Leave It to Beaver, baby, but in real life, they're just some people I love to hate because they're assholes. I'm not gonna like and love everybody, and it's not about that. So I think it teaches people to be docile and have their head in the clouds and not think logically at the same time. That's the danger with stuff like that. So I'm not like illogical in that sense, okay? But at the same time, I also think that there is a danger of being gloom and doom and worried all the time too. When you have a lower vibration, you know, your attention is very expensive. Remember that. Everybody's attention is focused on this coronavirus. You pay a lot, like you pay money, you pay a lot of attention to things. Depending on how you maneuver that, you can be controlled, right? Energy, money is energy, just like your attention is energy. You pay with money, you pay with your energy for attention that you give something. So, you know, I've also been thinking about, okay, so if there's a global cabal that's conspiring to take over the world and enslave humanity even further, because I would say that we are slaves to a huge extent anyway. We're free, but we're not as free. Some places are more free than others. Some periods, different periods, time periods, people may have been less free, but we're still slaves on so many levels. But it's like, don't you think that there are people that have known about this and have known that this is going on, and they're just tired? Like they want to see humanity prosper. They want to see, like, you know, like a lot of these people, you know, if you were really getting into the MK Ultra stuff, a lot of these people have been, you know, tortured and abused. I remember we interviewed Richard Grove from Tragedy and Hope when we first started, like around 2011. And I remember him saying something that really stuck with me. He said, you know, I forgive a lot of these globalist people. And I was like, oh, why? They're evil. And he was like, because you think about it, the abuse has been like just very severe and very prolific. I'm paraphrasing. He's super articulate. He probably said it way better than I did, but it was something along those lines. And I'm just like, damn, I never thought about it that way. I never thought about maybe there are people that are born into these families that don't want to be born into this family, that feel like they're slaves too. They're mind controlled. They're, abused and tortured. Maybe they're tired too. Maybe they're part of the white hats that want to stop stuff, right? There are people that get in government and get in these governmental agencies because they want to help people and they realize it's corrupt. Maybe there are a bunch of people that are conspiring to turn this thing around. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, I'm saying. But because I don't know, I can choose to be logical and be prepared, but also know that maybe in the end there could be a positive outcome. It doesn't have to be gloom and doom. Maybe American people will get fed up and rise up, right? I know there are people that are laughing at me. They're like, don't count on it. But I'm just saying, right? That's all I have is my positive thoughts, because I think that it's very essential too, because that's part of the game too, right? This is a spiritual war. They want to make sure that your hopes are down. They want to keep you in a state of low vibration. They want to keep you in a state of fear and ignorance and hate, right? So these are the times that try men's souls. I have to remember that, and I have to remember that we're all being tried, right? Some people want it to be the end of the world, because they want whoever their savior is to come back, whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or Tom Cruise. They want that, or they're dissatisfied with their life and they think the apocalypse is the only way out. They want an excuse to, not take accountability for the fuck ups that they feel. I'm not even saying that but they feel that they've done, whether they really fucked up or not, whether they're beating themselves up or something that maybe that isn't even their fault. But for some people, they're just like, they want this to happen, right? They want this to happen. They want to start over, right? I think right now, I would say it's the end of the world as we know it. It could either go good or it can go tremendously horrible. We're at the apex right now, you guys. It's the tipping point. We've reached the tipping point. These are the times that try men's souls. How will you pass the test? All right, guys, that's it. Talk to you later. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Mwah.